The part 2 of Albedo's event just got released, and compared to the first days of the event, I think I get what the event is about in a bigger picture now than before. Basically, it's almost the same as the one we got in 1.2. They both take place in Dragonspine, we explore more about Albedo and the mountain, and we get to finally take on a giant final boss at the end of the event. I actually loved 1.2 because not only we get to do grindy quest, but also do it together with other people, and I think 1.2 has one of the few events where we have motivations to play co-op, which was really cool at the time. When it comes to 2.3, however, I just had a little bit less of fun, especially when it comes to the minigames and the boss fight. First, the minigames, they're barely challenging. I think we have the first one is the training where we run through a course and jump all the way into the finish line, and the second one is probably the worst, I think, where we just need to melt all the ice in the area, which is, I don't know what they were thinking with that. It's like they ran out of things to challenge the players and basically say, alright, screw it, let's just give something that players can do as easy as possible. And that's not what I think mihoyo would think, but the one thing I like about the minigames is the last part. We actually get to fight monsters, and you actually get to think about how to approach them before taking on the enemies at the beginning. Like, I figured out that you can just take care of the objects that make the monsters invincible before it begins. That's the good part of the minigames, but overall it's not really that good. And the second one, which I did not really expect to happen, I actually thought that the boss was going to be in the third part of the event. It turns out that we actually get to fight them in the second part. And when I tried to fight the boss, my experience was pretty good. I generally feel like they're taking a step similar to the 1.2 events where you have to fight the Regis Find. But the one thing that I'm kinda disappointed is that the boss doesn't look really good. It's kinda easier than we once fought in 1.2. And the design is like a recycle of a Whopper flower we fight in Mondstadt or Liyue. The boss just looks so disappointing. The design looks lazy, but at least it's fun. Gameplay wise, I think it was actually unique. However, the major thing that I like about the boss is not the gameplay, but the way it pushes you to play co-op again, just like in the 1.2, is that you actually get interested in playing co-op with your friends or random people. You find people to play with and you prepare for the boss, predict what the boss is actually going to do, and the boss actually has an invincibility phase where we need to figure out how to survive. The boss just doesn't feel as fun as when we fight them in 1.2. On the bright side though, after playing this event, the event actually gives me hope that Genshin may have more things that push us to play co-op in the future, which I'm interested in. I kinda wish that every time an event happens in Genshin Impact, there is actually something that pushes us to do something unique. Like this, for example. Again, the co-op in this game has so much potential. They just can't manage to put that potential aspect of the game in the majority of the events that we've got. 1.2 and 2.3 and probably 1.1. Those events have one of the most memorable experiences in my opinion. Like the co-op, the bosses that we get to fight. And actually 1.4, I believe, they also have co-op in their events where you get to play Fall Guys kind of thing in the minigames and also finally get to fight another boss at the end. These are something that I think I'm seeing less of it now, and I know that they ask people, do they like the co-op experience? I'm gonna say that the co-op experience just doesn't feel right, and I'm kinda glad that they put it back in this event. I just hope that they put more in the co-op experience, especially in the events, so that they don't have to make all these ridiculous minigames where we have to run, we have to glide somewhere, and doesn't have to do anything with the combat or the RPG aspect of the game. It just doesn't make sense. These minigames don't actually have to be here. They don't feel necessary, and the rewards that are in the minigames are the only things pushing people to play it. So yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to talk about the overall experience I had with 2.3. I think it's a step in the right direction. Despite the minigames being so boring, I guess, it's still something that I had fun with. And that's about it. See you next time.